I don't know how long I'm going to be alive here. Remember to be happy. Remember to bring the influence in any place you pass. Remember to live better than what you found. Remember to leave a legacy.
Welcome to the Crossing It Off podcast, where each episode we share the stories of individuals that are living out their bucket/life goal lists. I am your host, Roger Williams, and through hearing our guests' adventures, my goal is that you will find encouragement and empowerment to add and cross items off of your list. Welcome everyone to the show. I'm excited you're here with us today. A lot of times people put on their bucket lists to heal from something physical or something traumatic and emotional, and our guest today has done that. Mariana Cadore is with us today. She describes herself as energetic, happy, empathetic, and kind, which are all amazing things and wonderful to want to be described as. Mariana, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Such an important mission. I'm very honored to be here.
Awesome. So, Mariana, tell us, what was the thing that you crossed off your bucket list?
Well, it's not something that I planned, but once came into my life, I need to heal from fibromyalgia, and that I crossed from my list.
Okay, so tell the listeners that may not know, what is fibromyalgia?
Fibromyalgia is a disease from the body that all the joints, basically you have pain in all the joints. There is an autoimmune disease. I had pain in all the joints of the body, no exclusion. And I had 2 sciatic pains, both sides as well.
Wow.
Really feeling really weak, like chronic fatigue. And the medicine doesn't have healing until now. They give some pills, but there is no healing until now.
Okay. And so what is that, when you wake up in the morning, what does that feel like in your head? What are you thinking? What is that pain like?
Yeah, back to this time that there is no, like, I don't even think I fully wake up. I wake up and I'm locked in this body that couldn't do anything that I want to do it. There was pain the whole day, to the point that you think, if they do some surgery just for one day without pain, I will do it. So desperate you are at this point. It's just even understanding, like, I love reading, I love studying, but even this was too much effort for my body at this point. Concentrating was very difficult. Mm-hmm. So this fatigue, this lack of energy, and really limited what I could do in my life.
Wow, not even be able to read. That's intense. Where does it come from? What is it?
Well, the medicine cannot explain until now where that comes from, what is the reason, and how to heal that. Our Western medicine doesn't go through that. I had to conquer through alternative medicine and a lot of studying of self-help and self-analyzing. So I had to do an internal journey to be able to heal myself. And I was blessed with, but there is no many answers until now.
I don't want to get ahead of the story, but so I won't. But how did you? What kind of resources did you use? If there's no like pill you could go out and buy at the time, what resources did you use to kind of, help this journey along to healing? What were some of the things you did to make that happen?
Well, there is some pill that they give, but I felt like a zombie. I felt not fully alive and not fully with energy and not fully myself. So I took these pills and I felt like that's not me. And I don't feel excited to be alive. And I don't feel, it is something alive there, but it's definitely not me. So that was my feeling with the medicine they gave me at the time. And I didn't like it. So my whole thing was from acupuncture, acupressure, kinesiology, neurology applied in medicine, neurology, self-discovery, and dealing with emotions. I did absolutely everything you can imagine that was presented to myself in an alternative way. This is one way that people found healing, even to holotropic, that is a way of breathing. I did it. I did them all. And yes, the more I use techniques, each one had one way to help me, but they're completely healing. We're going to get there. But each one helped me somehow to understand myself and how I could release this energy trapped in my body.
So do you continue with those treatments today, or is it more of like you're like actually cured, right? I mean, so that's the question that I think I have most in my head. It's like,
yes,
do you still have to continue doing those things, or is this like, can you wake up now and not have that fatigue and the pain?
Look, I'm so healed that I try to cross the ocean rowing, the Pacific Ocean, not even a joke, rowing 18 hours per day. And 1 week ago, I did 100K running. So I am completely healed. I do keep the practice of things that are good for me, good choices of nutrition. I don't want to give anything that inflames my body. But bear in mind, nobody's perfect, and I don't want to do everything perfect. Every now and then I eat something that is a little bit out of this anti-inflammatory list, just because I like the thing, and that's fine. I do some movements that I found to be very healing, and those are my warm-up to whatever I want to do it. So I keep, not because I'm afraid of having fibromyalgia back. I'm completely out of this zone. It's just because, this is so good for me. I'm going to give this as a present to my body. That's what I do it.
That's amazing. Is there one treatment that you found that was more helpful than others?
I think the really journey of controlling my emotions and try to clean it up, emotions from the past, those were absolutely powerful. And then I can say the neurology applied movement was another really, really powerful. But I think if I still with everything accumulated in my emotional life, I don't think I would be able to clear up everything through movement. I think you need to change as a person. This journey leads you to a better version of you. So I think if I haven't done this journey of knowing myself, improving myself, facing my demons, I wouldn't get there.
So there are some in the medical community that believe that fibromyalgia is a symptom of PSTD, right? And so are you willing to talk about maybe what that was for you, or do you?
Of course. I do believe most of the diseases, there is a part that comes from emotional trauma. All of us, no exception. We have traumas, no exception. For me, there was many things going on, but I think one of the biggest things that I had in my body was discovering my sexuality, to know that I was gay. That was one of the things important for me, to know that and accepted myself as who I am, and finding love myself to myself, knowing that I was gay. I am gay. So finding this place where I love myself the way I am, and allowing someone else to love me as well. It was a huge thing for me. Because I actually was homophobic. I was gay and homophobic at the same time. There is no explanation of this. unless you think society give me this understanding and I had to clear up, because that didn't come from me. It would be weird you be and be homophobic at that same time. So it's these things that come from generations and community and society that is just a software on your brain, and then you end up not liking or loving yourself because you're not in that box that they gave you.
We'll be back with more of Mariana's story right after this. What is the status of your bucket list? Are you still wrapping your head around the purpose of having one? Are you struggling to write your list and don't know what to put on it? Or are you looking at your list wondering which item to cross off first? No matter where you are in your bucket list journey, I'm here to assist you in becoming the head crosser-offer of your list. Visit crossingitoffpodcast.com/mentoring to learn all about the personalized and affordable mentoring I can provide to help you live out your list. Now, back to the show. Yeah. Was there, was your family supportive of that revelation?
My family took me very long for my family to discover, because first of all, I had to discover. I didn't know.
Sure.
It's actually funny to say that I didn't know I was trying to be straight, but I couldn't find love. I was not interested. I was just not interested in any guys, anything. And didn't ever cross to my mind that I could be gay. Didn't ever cross. I'm like, oh, that's just not my focus in my life.
And that has to bring on some kind of trauma as well, of, wanting that, not being able to find it the way you need it, has to be traumatic.
Yeah. And I think that there is accumulation of many factors in our life, especially things in childhood that we carry with us as traumas. But the biggest one, I don't know. I actually don't know. I know that I went one by one, and I still going to have a whole life to clear up everything, because we like onions. We just peel up. But once we know how to deal with emotions, with ourselves, it kind of, we embrace ourselves and we love ourselves so much. You're like, it's okay that this happened. And then you deal with the situation, and you actually wish good most of the time for the person as well that did something to you as a child. Or most of the time you end up understanding that other human beings suffering and is spreading misery. So sometimes it's very difficult to understand in some cases, like people when they have sexual abuse or things like this, is a whole nother level to wish good. But just to release of some part of the anger and the revenge is already enough to heal someone. I don't mean they have to go as far as loving the person, because I think that could be dangerous.
Sure.
But or far away from them, they can wish really good for the person, but that's such a tough thing. But as more that we can let it go of these traumas, there is techniques and ways to do this, and it doesn't happen overnight. But those are one of the main tools I've been using, and I still teach people until now to deal with emotion, stress, and how they treat themselves in a way that they can actually have a wonderful life. They need to love themselves. They need to be kind with themselves.
I don't know if that answers my next question, but if someone came to you and said, I've got this diagnosis of fibromyalgia, I want to deal with it, I want to get rid of it, what is the number one thing that you would say to them? Is it that you need to love yourself, or if in their journey to figure out where this comes from, what would be a suggestion that you have for them to begin that journey of dealing with this condition?
I think the first thing I would ask is, do you really, really want to heal this? Is that why do you want to heal this? what that means to you. Because unless we drive the people to a place that things are meaningful for them, it is a journey, and each one is, and that's something that I love, that medicine is very good for acute cases, like you cut yourself, you have one incident, they cut, they take it off. And so it's a box, it's one formula. But human beings are not one formula. Yes. Human beings are unique, with a unique backstory. And as I dive in a unique human being, it is in weight loss, as in the physical condition, or even how I can bring this body to a place that the body can self-heal, because actually the body is always trying to heal. The body is always 24/7 work to self-heal you. Is even when you go to surgery, the body has to self-heal, because the surgery was one part, the body still have to heal. So my journey is to make the environment good enough that the body can self-heal. So I take the things that are bothering the body. That's really what I do. I help the person to take what is bothering the body, and can be in a part that is more emotional, can be in a part that is more system, can be in a lifestyle part, can be, but they always start with, why do you want? Why do you want to heal? Do you really want? And finding something that is deep enough that can move them forward. If we don't have this, not even to weight loss, we cannot move forward. I cannot give you anything to do unless there is a massive reason for you, meaningful reason for you.
Yeah. What's the one thing that you personally took away from this journey? Like when you had felt like you had gotten to the point where you had healed, what was the major takeaway that you took away for yourself? I mean, I know you help lots of people, and that's amazing, that work that you do, but what was it for you that you walked away from this, and how did it make you feel in that process of completing that?
Yes, I think the main thing was, I believe I was very selfish. I was a high-level athlete, a national team athlete for rowing. So I believe I was very selfish. Everything was about me, my food, my training, my resting. And this process of pain stripped out everything that I knew was me. So this incredible athlete was just gone one day to the other, was just gone. So I had to understand, who am I without all these things that I accumulate in front of me. This, I'm the incredible athlete, I'm this and that. Who am I? So I had to understand this. And then I start to understand as well, people are suffering, and I was not connecting with people. And people were beautiful. People, actually, many people, when they told me something, was that little word they told me. It could be a smile or a simple word like, you're going to get this, you're going to heal. That changed my entire life. So I understood at this part of pain in my life that human beings are part of my life, and what I should work for to influence other human beings in a good way. It doesn't matter where I am. If I am in the supermarket, I'm going to talk with the cashier. If someone look at me, I open, I smile. What is the opportunities the life are giving me to make an influence in another human being life? I try to take them all, because, I couldn't take any more life for granted after all this pain I had.
Yeah.
I start to live like each second. And sometimes, because my body is really good now, I had to remind myself, I don't know how long I'm going to be alive here. Remember to be happy. Remember to bring the influence in any place you pass. Remember to live better than what you found. Remember to leave a legacy. here in this world. So at the end, I never would choose to have fibromyalgia, but I think was the best university I had in my life. It changed me completely.
Wow, that's amazing. Living a life of gratitude is definitely beneficial, not just to yourself, but to others for sure.
Mm.
Mariana, where can people find more information about you, your journey, and ways that you help folks?
Yes, they can find me at marianacadore.com. So that's my website. We have my new book I'm launching, my programs, which is reset methodologies to reset them. Usually people come to lose weight for me, but they end up preventing disease and changing completely their lives. That's the best way. There is also my Instagram, which is Mariana_Cadore. And it's a blessing to be serving other people and to give some influence for better in their lives.
That's awesome. We will put all those links in our show notes so that people can find them easily and click on them. Mariana, thank you so much for being here today. You're truly inspirational, and I hope all the further success for you and for those that you serve.
Thank you. You have a beautiful mission. It's a pleasure to be sharing this moment with you. Thank you.
As a reminder to our listeners, in this episode's show notes, you will find links to learn more about this week's guest and information on how you can cross this item off of your list. You can follow my adventures of crossing items off my bucket list on Instagram and Facebook. And as always, new episodes of this podcast are available to stream every Friday morning. We will meet you here next week. And until then, keep living out your list.